It's about nothing but the time. Blitz, Bama, blitz.
Give me Alabama to break
It's when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game. It's our game. It's our game trying to take it away. So that makes this shit personal.
Oh, we in here tonight, baby. Sunday night Talk'n Bama, guys. How we doing? We live on the Bama Standard Network. If you're joining us tonight, make sure you like and subscribe right here to your favorite Bama Standard channel. JB, how we doing tonight, brother?
What's good, my people, man? Feeling good, feeling great, man. Great to be here. First Sunday of March, spring football coming up. I know Steve and them gonna have some good spring football info for us. What's going on, Herb? How you doing, bro?
Man, it's a beautiful night, man. It seems like a lot has all of a sudden happened. We went from, man, there's not a lot to talk about to we're like, all right, how we fitting all this in one show? So, yeah, man, I am already excited. I know you, like you said, Steve and them, you ready to kick us off with some stuff. How are you tonight, man?
Man, I'm fresh out the witness protection. they cleared me. They cleared me to go home, so I'm good.
I'm glad he's back with us, guys. Yes. It's clear to go home. I ain't got to worry about FBI agents popping in and out the show no more, guys. So stay locked in right here. Once again, if you're watching us on Twitter, make sure you come over here, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel as well, guys. Got a jam-packed show, guys. Bear with me tonight. My voice may go in and out. Bear with me. I'm going to give y'all a pre-warning on that, coming through some sinuses. You know, we're in the South down here. But before we kick off the show, and before we do it, as always, JB, let the people know what they need to have right now, especially coming up. We got 2 games left in SEC play in basketball, okay?
Yeah.
And then we got the tournament. What we need to have, brother?
So everybody to support your Crimson Tide 24/7, 365. You need to get you a title towel. Go to whitwheelsports.com. Use the coupon code STAND to get you a nice little discount, courtesy of your favorite Bama network, the Bama Standards.
Yes, sir. And guys, if you're working on a side project, whether that's in or around your home, whatever way, don't settle for subpar material. Check out Lambstone's natural product. They got everything that your project needs. Make sure that you hit them up today and let them know that the Bama Standard sent you, and you'll get 10% off on your first order. Link right here in the bio, guys. RealRockstone.com. Make sure y'all hit them up. So, guys, we're going to kick off the show tonight. And like Herb said a minute ago, you go from not having we've been chatting about just different stuff, and then now, boom. You got a jam-packed stuff to talk about. A lot of it's around A-Day. There's a lot going on right now with A-Day. As we've heard DeBoer say, it's possible going to be some events around this as well. Good and bad, we don't know. No TV, no televised. Is that good or bad? Yes or no? We're about to talk about that. I think Stephen M. Smith's going to have a good answer on that one. JB, I'll have a great one. And I know Herb's got a good look on, like, is this the new norm too? Like, is this kind of what we're going to get used to here? So comments, go ahead and hit those, guys. We'll answer those on the back end of the show. Make sure you guys are real live with the comments for us. Kicking off the show tonight, 8A game changes. We're going to let JB kick us off. We'll go Stephen F. Smith and Herb will wrap us up. JB, let us know how you feeling about this 8A changes along with, with the events. Kind of what you said, similar. I feel like it's going to be similar to that. So how do you feel about this, brother?
So all we know right now is that it is going to be modified. So that was put out there this past week. It's going to be modifications to it. It's going to be at 12 noon, which is it normally is at like 2, 3 o'clock. It's not that early normally. So it's going to be 12 noon, April the 12th, not televised. That's big because y'all need to bring y'all ass out here. And I say that because for real.
I'm with you. I am with you. Yeah, I am with you.
We talked about this last week.
Yep.
We talked about this last week. And I had a show on Friday night, Sports Talking with JB. Go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. And I said we should all come out. They could charge $5, $10. Yep. And there can be NIL collective money, right? Just for people to come out. I know it's a free event. It's going to be free. And if you really want to come out support the team, come on out if you can. You know, if you're in the surrounding areas, anywhere around Alabama, if you're in driving distance and you can make it, make plans to come out and support them. It may not be a real game, which A-Day is really never a real game if you think about it.
They glorified practice.
Yes, it's a glorified practice scrimmage game. I mean, they keep score throughout the game, but then all that's thrown in the trash. It's just to see what you got after the spring training, to see where everybody is at. It is not a real game. So I'm glad that Coach DeBoer has come out and put this out there in advance so we'll know. Now, what's going to be going on, I have no idea. But I would like for it to be maybe a little skills challenge or something. They may just do some drills like they normally do. Maybe a little scrimmage, not a real game. And do something for the fans. Make it fun. You know what I'm saying? It's spring. It's fall. Make it fun. But that's all we know right now. 12 o'clock, April 12th. Y'all come to Brian Denny. It's free, and it might be the last one.
JB just hit it on the head. Might be the last one. Might be or close to format you're going to get is what A-Day, what we're used to anyways. They're definitely, you can see the writing on the wall for the next 365 days. They'll have plenty of time to change and plenty of things to think about. Another thing also, JB was saying right there, guys, about the end of spring. Basically, even with that depth chart, they create somewhat of a depth chart, right? That's not a final depth chart. Whoever wins in spring ball doesn't mean you start in September, okay? You could lose that or you can gain up. So let's say Ty win, like, all right, Ty looked good. Cool, Ty looked good. And then come September, hey, bro, fall camp, though, Mac had an awesome fall camp too, you know, so he'll probably get some reps too then. You know, it depends. So that's why I tell people, don't weight everything on the A-Day games and the spring games and don't put too much weight on it. Stephen M. Smith, this is something I want to hear out of your angle right here on this too, man, about the televised. Do you think this is a good or a bad thing here? JB kind of just said it in a good way too there, like, hey, come on out and watch it. You want to see it, come out and see it. But on another viewpoint, I know you have a different one. I remember we was talking about it. How do you feel about that?
I'm gonna say this. I thought Kalen DeBoer hit this dead on to where this is him setting his culture. He hit this dead on. Kalen DeBoer got three things done with one stone. Number one, as fans, we keep the A-Day. It's not canceled. Yes, it's modified, but it's not canceled.
That is true.
So he kept that tradition. That was huge. Number two, as JB said it, now you got to come out. There's no televised, baby. You got to come out. And what does it mean? This means nobody else has film on this A-Day. Hello. No other program got tape on this A-Day. So nobody's going to know what Ryan Grubb hacking. Nobody. Unless you are there in person to see it for yourself, nobody knows.
And Stephen Smith, all the fans, if we see somebody scouting, it's on site. Because don't come over here. It's on site. Me and Billy, it's on site.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that it's not on television, nobody got film on Grubb at Bama. Unless you come out there and see it with your own 2 eyes or 4 eyes, in my sense, nobody's got tape on this. That's huge for Kalen DeBoer being able to do that. And then, last but not least here, this allows the coaches and the coordinators to put in different stuff. Like this allows Kane Womack to put in different stuff. Ryan Grubb to put in different stuff. And then, guys, think about it. When did A-Day start to become big under Nick Saban? When he first got there and it was word of mouth. It wasn't really no TV. It was, did you see so-and-so and so-and-so? Bruh, did you see so-and-so out there? Man, you missed out, homeboy.
It good, yeah.
TV, homeboy, but you missed out, homeboy. I saw Julio make the catch right here. It wasn't on no TV. You had to see it for yourself.
That is true.
That's the big thing. getting people to see it for themselves again. TV made us a little bit lazy. I ain't gonna lie. Now we're going back to getting it out the mud, seeing it for yourself, going out there to see it. I like how DeBoer did this. You get to see it for yourself, and nobody got tape on it.
Hey,
let me add something.
I like that. Go ahead.
So another thing, so if it's not televised, that's going to tell me that it's really not going to be a real formatted game. Because if it's a televised game, you have like a 2-hour block.
You have a time schedule.
Yeah, normally a time frame, and they do, first, second, third, fourth quarter. It may be something totally different. We don't know yet. So that's telling me it's not going to be the normal game format like it's been.
I think they're going to play somewhat. They're going to give you some plays and maybe like a series or two of some sort of something like that. And then some drills, like you were saying, maybe some meet and greet, maybe type stuff. I don't know. That would be a way to scrape in so much money, though. You could do like $10, come in and watch. You could do $50 to meet X amount of players. You could do $100 to meet this and that. Think of all the money. All that could go straight to them and players and stuff
Straight
like NIL funds.
bro.
And you know how much money people would pay for that, dude? Think of 70,000 people wanting to pay that, But I don't know. Maybe they're thinking of it. Maybe they're like, there's things we don't see. Because maybe there's got to be things we don't see of that somebody that's way smarter than us and way bigger room and making bigger decisions than us. Or, Anyways.
Well, it's definitely going to be free because they put that out there. So
yeah, they did. They did.
Free. But I'm going to tell you this, too. In August, they have Fan Day, and that's the Yay Alabama event. And you have to be a member of Yay Alabama to go on the field and do the running of the Gumps. That's in August. So all that money is going straight to the collective if you want to get those autographed pictures and whatnot.
Now that's good too. That's actually really good too. And they'll probably add on with that more and more and more as it goes too. Herb, is this the new norm for A-Day with the changes? Do you think we kick it after this year right here? How do you feel?
It absolutely is the new norm. I mean, you see how many teams are coming out and doing it, and a lot of those leagues are huge copycat leagues. Whenever you see somebody else doing it, it is kind of working. And it's just, I know I've been one of those arguing against it for weeks, but now it's just like more and more benefits popping up to not, like you said, taking off television. That was huge. Doing different stuff to just kind of keep your players fresh. And I still want to see something because I want to go out there and I want to support them, and I want to have some kind of event. But I totally get everything else is going. But to your original question, it's the new normal. Everyone is heading this way. And it's one thing when it was like Nebraska and we could kind of laugh it off because they're not where they used to be. But then when Texas pops up and does it, and then Ohio State's doing it and Ole Miss has been doing it. And now you're like, Bama's doing it. Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of the way of the world at that point.
Yeah, I think the big dominoes are falling to knock over the little ones at this point. Yeah. And it's like, all right, let's go ahead and, so, I mean, I think it would be cool to see some closer schools, like maybe Alabama, Auburn have a combined 8A and do something like that and kind of, you don't have to pull all you. No, I would. Yeah,
we swinging on sight if Auburn get around here.
Yeah, but you know how much money that would raise. People will go watch an 8A Alabama Iron Bowl 8A, bro. Think about that. An Iron Bowl 8A.
Wow.
An Iron Bowl 8A would be wild if we actually think about it. Think about. You got Alabama fans wild up in November and Auburn fans wild up at the end of November. Imagine them wild up at the beginning of summer and spring for a spring game.
Hold on. So apparently Damon Davis doesn't want me cutting my beard until Bama loses a game. What?
Don't cut it until we lose. That thing going to be – you ain't cutting it this year, boy. We running it,
I mean, the games ain't even for a while, so you going to be in trouble.
And we can't lose on 8A. You can't lose on 8A.
Hey, so, if you thought that we were making a witness protection program question jokes before,
real quick though, guys. I didn't have this on really the itinerary tonight. This kind of came out just free-handed there, but some jersey changes has happened. The one I was talking about, it wasn't Mbakwe with the 2 3s, JB. it was Jalen Hill and Justin Hill, but Justin Hill is on defense. They're number 8. Jalen Hill's number 8, and Justin Hill is number 8, and their offense, defense, they'll have the same ones. Yeah. Then we have Brooks, wide receivers, number 17, and then we have
he
Collins.
got that waddle on. He got that waddle.
Yeah, and Collins from Florida is 17 as well. Duke Johnson at 15. Some other notable ones. Ivan Taylor at 13. Keelan Russell got number 12, his number. I seen that coming. Yeah. Dejon Lee got number 5. I like that. Daniel Hill at 4. Mbakwe at 3. Miami wide receiver Horton at 1. AK Deer. AK Deer at 0. I like that a lot too. That's a really good one. Stephen Smith, who did you say you like?
I mean, I like Horton at 1. He got that JMO number, that Jamison Williams number.
I saw what JB said about Meadows.
He got 1. Yeah. I like Brooks rocking that waddle at 17. I'm gonna say this. I like that Justin Jefferson rocking that Reuben Foster, that 10.
Yeah, he went 10.
Yeah.
He went down 10. He went 10 on him.
He went 10
like
now.
10. Yeah,
he went 10 now. Of course, Mbakwe's wearing 3. We know Calvin Ridley had 3 during his time in Tuscaloosa. Nakai Hill Green, the transfer from Colorado's got 41.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Dewberry, the transfer from A&M's got 71.
Michael Carroll got 64.
Carroll got, I'm going to tell you this. Waldrop's got Booker's old number 52. So
yeah, he does. Waldrop does. Junior, 52, yep. And then who was I just looking at? DeBoer, 65. That's a freshman as well coming in.
That's old Deontay Brown, Cornbread Brown's number.
Yeah, Cornbread Brown. JB, who was you talking about on Twitter, bro?
Okay, so Derek Meadows is wearing 30 at the wide receiver position. And I looked at him like, wait a minute, 30 at wide receiver, but it's for a good cause because he's honoring his brother, his little brother that passed away. So
I love that.
Yeah, that's what I heard from the Twitter. So it's for a good reason that Derek Meadows at wide receiver is wearing number 30. He's honoring his little bro. So I mean, we'll let that pass. You know what I'm saying? Because when I first looked at it, I was like, I ain't never seen no wide receiver at 30, but we'll let that pass.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm gonna have to get it just for that. That's gonna make me get a jersey. That's gonna make me get a jersey too, bro. Because definitely that's riding all day. Yeah.
Good question. I got one question, Stephen. Now, number 3, you said that Mbakwe changed to number 3, right?
Yeah.
So is he gonna be on offense or defense? Because we can't have 2 number 3s out there at the same time. Who else is wearing number 3?
That's a good question.
Sab's
wearing 3,
and Sab will start. And I don't think Box going. That tells you I don't think Box on defense in. I just think that tells you. I think that tells you that that deal or whatever happened when it happened. I think that was a wide receiver move, and now he's playing with Williams at wide receiver. And hey, I think that's exciting. We need some wide receivers too, and this going to be interesting to watch here, man. And also, he was, a high school quarterback too. Who's to say you work,
plays?
You don't. I mean, hey, I'm not saying every play, but to have 1 or 2 in your back pocket, man.
This is the reason why I'm happy this 8A ain't televised. Grubb's about to make some stuff happen. Grubb may look at Mbakwe and go, we can create some packages for you playing wildcat trick quarterback and move you around the formation. Like, Mbakwe about to have some fun with this.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, guys.
Can I also say about my last thing on the 8A? I don't think DeBoer could have got away with this in his first year. I think he still had to have a traditional one.
Oh, yeah.
But with everybody doing this and now it being his second year, I think he's got a little more leeway to go ahead and do it this year.
And he had to team up last year's because of not having enough players to play it, or he would have legit played a full game. The only reason he did that, they didn't have enough players due to people transferring versus guys just committed and getting there and not ready to play. So, our physicals maybe not being done yet, different stuff. But didn't have enough guys to do a kind of a full game. So, what's up?
So, JT, before we move on, I want to answer Damon Davis's question about the D linemen changing to single digits. Why? A lot of D linemen, the reason why they change numbers is some of them go back to the number they wore in high school. Some of them wore single digit numbers in high school, and they wanted to go back to that. Like, a lot of people are tripping about, well, why is Keon Keeley wearing number 8? Like, that's weird. That was more likely his high school number.
And now it's Justin Hill.
Yeah, so a lot of guys, they change up those numbers because they want to go back to their high school number or a number that they wore in Little League prior to going to college. So that's why a lot of those guys change their numbers up.
I got one issue with the changing of the numbers every year. How's somebody gonna buy your jersey and support you?
That's the tough part.
Change your damn numbers.
That's the tough part.
That right there, JB, is the only concern because you have a lot of those traditionalists that feel like, okay, I know you as this number. Now you've changed it. Now I got to retrain my brain to recognize you as a whole different number.
Yeah.
Especially number 9, but now he's number 3. Like, come on, bro.
And for those guys that have aspirations of getting to the NFL, like changing your number every year doesn't help you either way. You also want to kind of build your brand going all the way to that direction.
Now, I'll say this. The NFL did it smart when they did it because they held out so long with the rule restriction on the numbers. When they finally let it up and let people change, you know how much their jersey sales went up when defensive linemen were changing their numbers and people were getting their new jerseys, or their jersey sales went up the roof. So it was like a smart move, but it was only going to be it was a monetary gain. It was only going to be so far you could get that gain from. It wasn't going to be, super longevity, but it was a smart one. I think somewhat in college, you got to start thinking of yourself as a business move, like in which they do. Obviously, they do. They, use it that way. But it's good though. You got to think of it. You don't want to. I was trying to say I'm trying to think how would I say that if I was how to word that
by a vowel.
God, Lee, I had like I'm having like a brain fart. What I was trying to say.
Can I get a consonant for 500, Alex?
My brain just
use it in a sentence.
No, my brain went dead. No, it's like. So when you have I'm number 3, or Ryan Williams, you're number 2. Everybody knows that he's this big time player now. Why would you change your number? You see what I'm saying? Now the guys that did change their number last year didn't play as big of a role, and now they're probably this year going to set in stone that. Now Bakwe is hoping, like I said, this year hopefully gets going a wide receiver. That kicks off. But so. The numbers will be fun. 00. I don't know if there's a 00. I don't think you can have 00. I don't know. Can you have 00 in college?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So Alabama's on the recruiting rise, guys. We're going to talk about a little bit of recruiting. I know it's a shaky game to talk about right now, especially when we're talking about 2026 and we're in 2025. But right now, Bama's got 3 guys lined up in the classes committed right now. Gibson, 5-star cornerback, and we have a 4-star lineman, Booker, and a 4-star defense player, Matthews, lineman. Both of them all 3 of them are really great. Gibson's one of my favorite in the DBs. He's one of the best in the class coming up. He will be a cornerstone of this draft class right here. Not draft class, recruiting class. Eventually will be a draft class with his name in it. But recruiting class for 2026. So that's something to look at. JB, how do you feel about this right now? Obviously, I know we don't want to put too much in it because of how it is. But how are you feeling about this?
Well, you know me, I never get too high on the recruits this early. But it's good that it's good that we can get some of these guys already committed, and hopefully they can stay committed because we know how it goes. We know how it goes. You commit on Monday, and then you decommit on Friday and say respect my decision. Y'all know how that goes.
After taking 2 official
committed on Monday and respect my decision on Friday. That's how it normally goes. But seriously, Zyan Gibson, man, great athlete. He's gonna probably lead this 2026 class right now. Help recruit some more kids over here so we can go ahead and lock in a top class for 2026 because it may sound like it's far off, but it's really not. We already in March. Look how fast January and February went by. We already in March. So as soon as the football season starts in August, it's gonna be get real heavy with recruiting because they get to come to the games, get to experience those games at Saban Field and Bryant Denny. The night games with the red light special is gonna be something nice. Because if you talk to some guys who committed last year, that Georgia game, when all those commits was at the Georgia game, or those recruits, it won some of them over. It did. Yeah. So they still like the allure, the pageantry at Bryant Denny Stadium. So to get them out there at the game, and let's do it. But don't get them to a game where we lose.
Yeah, we gotta win. We gotta win those games. Stephen Smith, Alabama on the recruiting rise. How we feeling, brother?
I mean, I feel good about the Matthews kid is a terror on the defensive line.
Yeah,
I was really happy to see Freddie Roach as the primary one to get him. Mm-hmm. This guy's a terror. Speed, get off, explosion, hands, moves, convert speed to power, can edge, being Matthews is a terror, a living terror. I'm really excited to have that young man committed. As JB mentioned, let's get pen to paper. Let's get pen to paper here, but very happy that young man committed. Yes. Another one, Chris Booker out of Atlanta is very intriguing. I like him as a center. I know most people project him as a guard at 6'4", 284, but he's got a center's body. He can be a center. If he can put on about 10 pounds, if he can get about 295, 300, that's a center. Cerebral, smart kid, can work at the second level, like the hands, like the toughness on that interior. I think Chris Booker could be a very good center.
We need a center.
I was about to say we're going to need one too.
Because Parker Brasford's going to go quickly. You don't know where Rock Montgomery's going to fit. Rock could be a guard or a center. You need a true center for years to come after Brailsford. I think Chris Booker's it.
Yeah. I like that one.
I like that. Booker seems nice. That could be somebody that could fit right in there. We're used to that name too. Yeah. So that fit right in there. Herb, Alabama on the recruiting rise. I know it's 2026, a little bit of a stretch there. We only got 3 guys right now, but Bama's on the rise with a lot of big names right now. Like JB said, getting them on the visits is the big thing.
Yeah.
How you feel about everything that's going down right now with Alabama recruiting and what we see for 2026?
Yeah. Well, I think JB hit it perfectly, man. You try not to get too excited too early, but at the same time, the coaches have to do what they have to do. I mean, unless you're planning on hitting the transfer portal for 30, 40 players, you still have to use this avenue. You still have to make these visits. It's so early, but this is where you build the relationships, and a lot of these kids, you've seen them flip, or when they transfer, they say, I went back to the guy that called me every day. Or called me with whatever's allowed or whatever. So they're building the relationships, and then like the guy said, man, you gotta close in the fall. Get them to some games, let them see that atmosphere. If you lose, don't make it a bad loss. Make it some tight. Make sure that they enjoy the game and enjoy the whole thing. But and because we already mentioned the other two, man, Gibson was my favorite out of the 3 that you mentioned, just because you read more about him. Hard worker, quiet, so not gonna be a showboat, flashy guy, but a guy that you're probably going to see in first in, last out kind of guy. And I think that's definitely more of what the team needs going forward. So probably my favorite recruit. And in in-state, we've been kind of getting our butt kicked in in-state recruiting for a while here. So it's time to turn that around as well. So
it would be good to get him. Go ahead.
And then help you think about it. Gibson coming from Gadsden City.
Yep.
You think how big of an impact was Dre Kirkpatrick and probably talking to him? And how big of an impact was it for Dre Jr. coming from Gadsden City to go to Alabama, the impact that they had on Gibson. So getting an in-state guy, and especially one to where Bama's built the pipeline with Big Dre and now young Dre, both in that program, going through that program to get Gibson was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is huge. And I think having, like you just said, Freddie Roach going in and getting a guy this early is good, showing the coaching staff and their roles is identified. That's a big thing when you're trickling down leadership tree, is that leadership tree knows and is identified with what they do. All right, everybody's in need. All right, so you're not so good at this, bro, and you're recruiting, so that's what you're doing. All right, All right, you're. This is what we got you for. This is what we do. So everybody's identifying their position, knowing what they got to do. I like that. DeBoer went out and got. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. He went out and got his guy, Ryan Grubb. Also kept Nick Sheridan because I think Nick Sheridan is his other guy, just not that guy.
There is value to Sheridan as a quarterback coach.
There is value.
And I told people this, and people look at, well, there's not much value. Go back and you look at 2018, and you had Dan Enos as a quarterback coach. People give Lincoln Riley the credit of developing Jalen Hurts 2019 at Oklahoma. Jalen Hurts' development started 2018. That 1 year with Dan Enos at Alabama, the job that Enos did as the quarterback coach, starting that work there with Hurts prior to him getting with Lincoln Riley. There's value in a quarterback coach. Nick Sheridan brings that value.
Yep, and also him already being there and knowing Ty Simpson, knowing Austin Mack, helping recruit Keelan Russell.
Yes.
That's a big thing. That's what guys got to understand. I'm glad we kept him. He helped recruit Keelan Russell for sure. He was the offense coordinator. He dang sure had a hand in that, and Keelan Russell knew who he was too. Yeah. So that's good to retain him. Good to keep him. Also, hey, not only did we keep him, now he's your coach in your position. So yeah, so that's another reason why I say if Russell doesn't start this year, that he's not going to hit the portal, because I think he knows that, hey, this is my team.
His time is coming.
Hey, my time's next year, bro. And whoever doesn't start this year knows, like, hey, you may ride it out this year, but next year we know everybody's going to know the right number wrong. So,
and to that point, real quick on the Sheridan thing, I think he's just getting so much flack for the play calling. Look, like every coordinator's not going to be a great head coach, right? Every position coach isn't going to be a good OC or DC. There's no shame in not being ready for the next step, and that's not saying he'll never be it, but thinking that he can't just because this 1 year of play calling didn't go well and thinking, okay, he's never going to be good at it. That doesn't mean he's not. Like, he obviously knows the game of football, and he obviously has gotten this far. And will he be able to take that next step later? Of course. I believe that wholeheartedly, but I'm not ready to just toss this guy out. Like, you keep seeing the comments or posts about it. I think it's going to be fine.
And in that point, Herb, you go back and you look at Lane Kiffin. Kiffin early in his career was not a good head coach. It wasn't. But then it took his dad, Monty Kiffin, reaching out to Nick Saban, coach, give my boy a shot. Just give him a chance. And you give Kiffin a chance as a coordinator, and now as a coach from Florida Atlantic, now Ole Miss, Kiffin has gotten better. The same with Sarkisian. Sarkisian had a tough time at USC. Sarkisian had a tough time at SC, a tough time at Washington. Mm-hmm. When he comes to Alabama, he learns from Coach Saban, and he's been better for it now at Texas. So not everybody gets it off the first jump, people. It takes some time.
That is true, and it does take time, and it takes patience too. So, give it a little bit. But I think Alabama's looking good for 2026 right now. They're like ranked 11th or 12th. That'll change a lot. But got 3 guys already. A lot of guys in the wing right now, looking good. Before we get on to our fan topic tonight, JB, hold it up, Herb, throw it up. I'm having to wash mine right now because I'm sick, so I got all the towels in the washer, so it's being washed. Throw them up right now. Boom, title towel, guys. Make sure you got yours today. Whitwheel Sports right here at the bottom. Hit them up. Make sure you waving it around, whether you at Brian Denning on 8A coming up or you at Coleman for the last game or two right here. And then we got the SEC tournament coming up, NCAA tournament following that. It's going to be a great, great way to end the season right now for Tide Hoops. Make sure you stay plugged in. We got Florida coming up and then Auburn to finish out the season. And godly, Saturday was a tough one, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, Thursday show going to be fun, Thursday show going to be fun, bro, because, man, that one hurt, bro.
I'd rather lose that game now than to lose that game in the tournament.
You are so right, JB. I'd rather know how it feels right now when we got another punch to throw than to get knocked out. So you are right. JB, so some stuff got released, and it got out, and this is just pretty sad, in my opinion, right here. Every fan base has them,
Yep.
and normally they're successful fan bases. I'll say that they've had or recent success at minimum. You get some bad fans. Everybody has them. I've watched Eagle fans look bad in the NFL. I've watched, Auburn fans. I watched Bama fans. I watched LSU's. I watched Big 12s. That's Big 10. All of them. ACC. I've seen all types of fans, all shapes and sizes they come in. JB, I'm gonna let you get this one, kick it off tonight, man. And talk about what happened with Formby. I said that wrong.
Welcome, Formby.
Yep. About what was released about him and stuff like that. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So for everybody, I don't know if you guys have been watching the Tide That Baines documentary or whatever on Fox Nation, but a story came out last season during the after the USF game, South Florida game. Wilkin Formby, freshman right tackle, had a terrible game. He did. He had a bad game. And, of course, the fans, we are toxic. Let's all admit that we are toxic fans. We can be, especially when things don't go our way. Now, we won the game, but Wilkin Formby did not play well. And it came out just recently that he was receiving death threats from fans. And it's not the first time it's happened, but I'm kind of sick and tired of it. Do you guys remember the season before last, Seth McLaughlin, with the bad snaps, the way he got bullied, pretty much bullied away from Alabama, goes to Ohio State, wins the national championship, but he still loves Bama, and some of the players still love him. But it's sad to see. It's sad to see, and it happens all the time. You remember Cade Foster, the kicker. Oh my goodness. Cade Foster got it bad. Terrible. Yeah. So we can keep going back to that. But this kid Wilkin Formby, man, he's a Tuscaloosa kid. He is from Tuscaloosa. What is it? Taco Casa, whatever his parents.
Northridge.
Yes. So a local kid, man, playing for his probably his favorite school growing up, right here, Tuscaloosa. And he plays a bad game, but it's fans that's getting his inbox, going on Twitter, death threats, calling them all kind of names. Man, it's bad. And Bama fans, they tend to do it a lot. I know it happens in other schools, other fan bases. I talked to a former player, basketball player's mom, just last night. We were talking about this because Zeke Mayo from Kansas, he got death threats last night because he.
Oh yeah. I saw that. I saw that.
He had to put out on Twitter. And he put it on Twitter. People call him the N-word, tell him that if we see you, it's on site. I wish you were DIE. Like all that, man.
Stupid.
In the inbox. It's crazy. And
oh my gosh.
Most of the time, it's the faceless
accounts.
It's the faceless accounts. Hiding behind the email addresses and the fake names. Y'all got to stop that, man. It's ridiculous. It's wrong, to be honest with you. And I just hate to see it, especially for our Bama players. Now, we get on here and we will call out players that don't play well. That's fine. That's what you do, analyze and critique. Okay, he didn't play well. That's fine. But we're not going to say, man, he's trash. Kick him off the team. He's terrible. He's garbage. I hope somebody runs over his grandmama. No, that right there, stuff like that is going way too far. When they were attacking Malachi Moore last year, they were attacking him, his
personal attacks too, bro.
Yes, and I know his family. Man, listen. Yeah,
great people.
Paul, I see you in the chat. People betting on games, losing money. That's got something to do with it as well.
Boy,
that does
things.
It has a lot to do with it. But come on,
it does, man.
We got to be better as a fan base. And I have to call this out every now and then because I'm sick of it, bro. I see it all the time. I know some players' parents, their families, and they go through this, man. They go through this, and we don't understand what these college athletes have to go through, especially getting all the backlash because they see it on social media. This is a new time, a new era. 20 years ago,
Facts.
you wouldn't see all this. 10 years ago, but it's getting so bad right now. Everybody has social media. Everybody goes on social media and they look and they see. Imagine that. Imagine your kid getting death threats, getting called an N-word, getting called all this, just scrolling on social media because they made a bad play.
Yep. So listen, JB, when you talk about the toxic fans, man, you're talking about people that half the time are not happy in their own life, and them not being happy in their own life, they put too much into it. I'm a diehard fan. I get mad at the game, but I never message a player of anything like that. I never at a player, even if my parlays crash or anything like that. That's just pure wrong, dude. They're human beings. That's horrible. I never do anything like that. You could be upset. Nothing's wrong with being upset. Like JB even said, we can get on here and say, yeah, you had a bad game. This, that, and the third. But that's not bad, you know. But when you get on here making a death threat, using names, making it personal about people, and attacking maybe their homage or where they're from, and just like, that's just low blows. Get people's mama, bro. You DMing folks' mama, bro? Oh, man, where I'm from, dog? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, bro. No, dog. That ain't it, man. That ain't it. And I hope everybody can take a chill pill. Maybe just get off social media. Just log out, put the phone down, go outside, cuss the air out in your backyard, and let it out, bro.
Because guess what, guys? When a player expresses their frustration or being mad, and they tweet something out, they get
they brag it. Yep.
They get criticized. Yeah, they get dogged out.
But JB, they're on a stage. They're on a stage that's way bigger than where these fans think they are. Now, I've always said this, that the fans play a huge active role in this game. And without the fans, the players in the game would not be where it is. But also without the players, the game wouldn't be what it is too. So it goes hand in hand, but what one cannot do on both sides is think they're better than the other. We're still human beings. Take off you being a $1 million player and me being whoever I am, a normal fan. We are still human beings here. There's got to be a mutual respect of us being human and like, okay, you had a bad game. I don't mean I wish you die. You got kids. I got kids. You somebody's son. You somebody's brother. You somebody's cousin. That. I don't like that, man. Not a huge fan of it, man. Not a huge fan of it. Anybody else want to rant real quick on that? Because when I saw that, it had me a little ticked off.
I just got one thing to say on that, and people need to look at this too. The mental health part of it also. If you say there's an old statement that goes, "Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me." Man, words will literally kill you if you allow it to. Yeah. If you allow it to. And for these athletes, they put so much on themselves that for a lot of them, they see something like that. A lot of them take it to heart, man. And I know this because I have a good friend of mine. I went to high school with this guy. Went to high school with him. One of the best football players I ever played. The guy was a God-given athlete. Played football, played basketball, ran track, played everything. And he went to college at Alabama State. And guy had a bad game. Had a bad game running track. And people got at him on social media. And my boy, who graduated a year after me in high school, is no longer on this earth. Took his life because of some stuff that happened on social media and people getting at him. And to this day, I think about him because that kid, just bright future, bright young man, love that kid, love that dude. And gone way too soon because stuff that was said on social media and mentally it messed with him. So you got to be careful about what you're saying, man.
That is very true. Now, I'm all for us getting a ref in the parking lot, okay? Line. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I just can't imagine a point in my life where I'm gonna let an 18 to 20-year-old or
Yes.
18 to 30-year-old have that much power over me that I've never met, that I'm not probably not gonna meet, and all of a sudden to where I think I gotta threaten this kid's life. Like, no, if that's your take, then you need to be done with sports. Like that, just you need to find something else to do, something else to do around the house. But going after the kids will just make zero sense to me for the rest of my life. So,
yeah. It's because they have too much access. I mean, we know social media. We love social media. We love it. I mean, we use YouTube, we use Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. But
it's good and bad.
You can use it for financial gain. You can use it for entertainment. But when you get to abusing it, for attacking people like that, and especially that story you just said, Stephen M.
Yeah, that's bad.
But you hear those stories too often, man.
Yes, you do, bro. Yeah, and we don't know. We don't know the mental health state of kids. We don't know. We've had kids that played for our team that have mental health issues, but you guys still steadily attack them. And
listen, there's people that go through day-to-day life that you may think are the happiest people in this world that battle day to day behind closed doors, behind things that so always know that everybody's got something going on. Try to be nice, what you say. I'm taking my own advice with that too. Trying to do that myself. So another thing, why I'll put a button on this, but a wise man said this once: 10% of people ruin it for 90. So when you talk about the social media, the bad parts, it ain't 90% of the fan base.
It's 10.
It's that little bitty 10%. That's just it. But there's 10% everywhere. That 10%. Look at them. They're everywhere. It's in.
Well, that's because they get the most pub. That's why. There's a reason why news starts off with the terrible stories and
it is.
The good stories get big.
Yeah.
Bad
and the only reason they make it in a good story would only be, like I said, they use it for a game type of tool of, this man helped out this kid with special needs because the special needs kids liked them or something. Sometimes I don't like when they do those stories unless it's authentic. Like the authentic ones, yes. I don't like when you can tell even if it's fabricated a little bit. I don't like that as much. But it is what it is. Yeah. That is the toxic side to it. Media plays a role into that. We'll kind of put a button in that. Kind of wrap up tonight a little bit. Pull up the questions real quick, guys. Let's start rapid dashing these out. We did good.
You only had a couple. Yeah, there wasn't that many questions tonight, so we'll start. Okay, what's up?
Before we get into the questions, I'd like to give a couple of these NFL Combine shout-outs right now.
Yeah,
do that.
Combine. Yeah.
So I got a chance to check out the Combine, guys, and I thought Milroe improved himself. I thought he made some really good deep throws at the Combine, some post corner routes, some hitch routes. Still needs to continue to fine-tune some things. I think if he gets with an offensive head coach, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think if he gets with an offensive head coach, he'll be all right. But I felt like he did make improvement at the Combine. He had about 3 deep balls to where a couple of NFL GMs were like, he can do that? He can do that? Like, he had a couple of NFL GMs inside Lucas Oil going, okay. So it's there. It's just got to continue to be fine-tuned through his footwork. So I thought Milroe had some good stuff. I thought the guy that looked the cleanest was Jihad Campbell.
Easily.
Too clean. Campbell at 235 ran a 4.5 40. Yep. That was clean.
What was Milroe's time again?
He didn't run.
No, yeah, he didn't. He didn't.
I thought Campbell. Every person you saw on the telecast kept saying how clean, how smooth he looked. 4.5, 240, 1.53, 10-yard split. The guy had a 10-foot, 7-inch broad jump on the on-field workouts. Just the footwork is crisp, like Jihad Campbell, clean motion. Somebody of whom, if I'm the Detroit Lions, I'm drafting him. Right? If I'm the Lions, I'm taking him. So I thought Jihad looked the most clean. I thought a guy that had the most underrated combine, but folks, look at him, CJ Dupree. Boy, did CJ have a combine ran a sub 4.7, 4.69. It's a good time. Had a 1.56 10-yard split. That was really good. 34-inch vert. I didn't think CJ had hops like that. 34-inch vert. But here's the big one. 33 reps on the bench. That boy strong cat.
Yeah.
33 reps on the bench. CJ had a very good day. Another guy that had sneaky good combine, Robbie Oots. Robbie has sneaky good combine. Sub 540, 491. He had a 34-inch vert. Robbie's got hops. 1.64 10-yard split. The broad jump, almost a 10-foot broad jump. Robbie got some explosive power in that core. Now, he's got a meeting with the Carolina Panthers coming up. If I'm Carolina, bring Robbie home. If I'm Carolina. But I thought Robbie Oots, CJ Dupree, both had a good combine, underrated. I thought Jihad looked the most clean. I thought Milroe improved. Tyler Book had a pretty good show in there. But I thought overall, Jihad looked the most clean. Milroe improved himself. But Dupree and Oots, underrated. Very good combine for both of those two.
So that'll be interesting to see, especially where Milroe falls, because that's going to be not falls, but ends up at.
Let me add to Milroe.
Go ahead, add Milroe.
So I saw some intel today that of course last night he was throwing privately with the Jets. They said that was the rumor floating around. I didn't think he was going to throw because I watched the combine all day. He didn't come on into the last group, but what people see on social media, they see the bad stuff about Milroe. You don't see all the good stuff. But to all those scouts who was there and Lucas Oil, they saw it all. They saw the bad, they saw the good. And most of those scouts and those GMs don't get to watch the Alabama game because they got to watch their own team. So they get to see him in person probably for the first time. If they wasn't at Senior Bowl, most of them were at Senior Bowl, but this is the second time they got to see him in person. Now, Pro Day, he's going to do much better at Pro Day. I'm going to tell you why. Because he'll be comfortable and he'll be throwing to guys he already knows. Yesterday, they were throwing to guys they don't know. So it's different. You'll be able to know, okay, what is not like all that. He's gonna break off the route right here. Time and throw was a little bit better. So he'll really blow him out the water at Pro Day. And I don't think he had to run the 40. He's already you got plenty of tape of Milroe burning the whole defense. So we don't need to run the 40. I think I'm not sold on him being first round unless it's this one team. It only takes one. It only takes one to fall in love with him. Like Sean Payton fell in love with Bo Nix last year and picked him at 12.
I will say this. I know there's a lot of the comparison to Anthony Richardson. But if you look at Milroe, there are areas of his game he's a bit better than Anthony Richardson. Yep. Number one, you're getting the guy for the podium in Jalen Milroe. You're getting that. Number two, if Richardson and Milroe are in a foot race right now, I would slightly take Milroe over Anthony Richardson. And then number three, the big thing is Richardson, when he came out, Richardson was like raw. Richardson didn't have a lot of starts at college at Florida. He didn't have a lot of reps. Milroe's got reps to where you can build something there. You can base something there. The biggest thing for Milroe is get him to an offensive head coach that can say, son, I see your tools. Let me polish. Yeah. That's all Milroe needs.
And build.
Get him to an offensive coach. Whether that's a Shane Steichen, whether that's it doesn't matter who it is. Get him now to an offensive coach right now. What I would love, and I would love this here, if the New Orleans Saints can pull it, because they're not liking Derek Carr right now. If the Saints can make him,
I wouldn't throw him in there.
I'd have to get that jersey.
They in salary cap. They in salary cap hell.
Salary cap's about to go. It's going up.
I know, but their team is still going to be bad for a minute. So
Yeah, I can see that, but it is going up, and it's going to continue to go up after that, too.
But bad salary cap, still bad salary cap.
Seriously, it's an article on Bleacher Report saying that Chip Kelly loves Jalen Milroe.
Right.
Chip Kelly is with the Raiders, with Pete Carroll, with Tom Brady. That could be a perfect spot, especially if the Raiders go in free agency. And get them a vet.
What pick do the Raiders have right now, JB?
They're 6, but they can also get them second round.
Yeah, they can get him second round.
They could.
Yeah.
So do you think JB they pull this? Because you got Cam Ward and Shedeur up there too.
They'll be gone.
Do you think the Raiders pull this? Do you think the Raiders pull get Matt Stafford as kind of a bridge quarterback for Milroe?
Stafford's already re-signed. So that's the thing. Stafford's re-signing with the Rams. But Sam Darnold's out there. It's a couple guys out there. But the Raiders, if they can't get Shedeur, which I think is the perfect fit, Milroe, with that report I saw what Chip Kelly just raved about Jalen Milroe, if they can get that, then why not?
Yeah.
But you got to have your bridge quarterback. You got to have your bridge quarterback.
And
they have
no
Connor and Garner Minshew. Both of those guys will not be playing football for long. And I'm just saying that because I watched the game and they're not very.
And I think that's where the Anthony Richardson comp really helps. They threw him out there too early. They mismanaged that whole situation. So I think you get a guy like Milroe, even if there are some differences, there's enough similarities to where you're like, we're not doing the same thing. He's not starting year one. And like you guys said, get a bridge quarterback, let him sit, and I think it'll be a much better situation for him.
And that's the reason, as I put a bow on this, and this is the reason why I like Lance Zierlein as an NFL scout. He's with NFL.com. Lance Zierlein does a lot of these player grades. And so the grade Zierlein gave for Milroe, I have it written down here. He gave Milroe a 6.14, meaning good backup with potential to be a starter. So when I looked at the comp he gave for Milroe, I was like, whoa. The comp that Lance Zierlein gave for Milroe, Cordell Stewart, way back for them Pittsburgh in the early 2000s. He gave him Cordell Stewart.
Way back. I was a kid back then.
I a lot better than Cordell.
I heard some Jalen Hurts comps though. I heard some Jalen Hurts comps with Milroe too.
I can see that.
I heard some Jalen Hurts comps. I saw one guy, and I think this was Luke Easterling of USA Today. Luke Easterling gave a Jordan Love comp. I was like, that's interesting.
I didn't see that.
Here's the one super chat that you had. They didn't post it.
And thank you.
Let's go, Ann.
And thank you. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so I seen Sharpshooter was asking about the questions. Gonna pull those up real quick. We're gonna pop these off one at a time real quick, and I'll do one, JB, Stephen and Smith, and then Herb. We'll rapid fire these.
Okay.
Pull them up. Was the networks paying to televise these spring games? I would assume there was some type of deal, but that was probably pre-made, and that contracts just expired, and they didn't renew. Just as much as the SEC just did with ESPN, they let go of CBS and went with ESPN. Stuff like that happens all the time, but I don't think that one's as big of a deal for a spring game versus in the fall.
That's what I would think. I would think it would just go in the whole package.
It would. That's what it is. That's why I was saying when that CBS one ran out, that's why you kind of just seen it in the air. ESPN kind of picked up some last year, put it on ESPN Plus last year. So.
And one reason why he asked is he had a follow-up. He thought that Alabama was getting direct money from ESPN.
Yeah.
And
So
that's not the case.
Thing.
No.
I
JB,
think the SEC is getting that money and they divide it or something.
That would definitely be.
But I think it's part of the whole thing. So whether you do a spring game or not, you're not losing anything. So
no, you're not.
That was a follow-up kind
of. People use their cell phones to record the game anyway. Why not put it on TV? See, that's different. You ain't gonna sit there with your cell phone and record the whole damn thing. You gonna record bits and pieces. You gonna get your little highlight plays and post them on social media. It's no problem. I got no problem with that. I'm just saying the whole thing, in which we already know, like you say, JT, Grub may try some things. He may try some things. I mean, okay, this is not gonna be on TV. Let's try this. And the more we talk about it, the more I'm gonna get to thinking they may just break off and do 2 different scrimmage games.
Yeah.
They might.
They might break over half of the field, do one, ones and twos, and then the other ones. I'm just trying to. We don't know yet what the format is going to be, but maybe it'll come out before time, or maybe you just bring y'all ass to Tuscaloosa and you'll see what the format is with your own.
Yep. Bring it there, boy. Let us see it live and direct. Put that
I'll take the next one just because it's hurtful versus that could be a regular question. We're not ready to talk about this. We're not ready to talk about this. Okay, too soon. Join us on Thursday, but it hurts.
Yeah,
it hurts right now.
Join us on Thursday, and we'll hurt together.
Yeah. Bad way to lose, brothers. Bad way to lose.
Yeah, and then sharpshooters. This one goes to Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen M. Smith. Hit this one for us, brother.
You on mute, brother?
Yeah. Do y'all think Jahad Campbell going top 15? I believe he will. I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
He's top 15. He's top 20. The guy was the cleanest player at the combine. Clean, smooth in every way, shape, or form. I'll say this. He brought back the physicality at that position that Bama hadn't seen since Reuben Foster. Jahad brought that back. So I think he will go top 15. He'll at least go top 20, but I think he'll go top 15. I think Kuiper and McShay, Bucky Brooks, those guys that's the number 2 linebacker on their board right now. So I think he goes top 15. The question's going to be is who takes him, right? I think he would fit the Lions. Jahad would fit so many teams.
Lions just picked him late. That's why for them.
But see, I'm looking at the draft order. The Lions at 28, the Eagles at 32. I think he will be going well before then.
Well before.
I'll say this. I'll say this. Where's Pittsburgh?
It's 21, right? Because they made the playoffs, right?
Yeah, 21.
Okay, so man,
they need offense more than they need from what I read, Jahad Campbell is like definitely a top 15 guy, right? I just pulled up 3 random mock drafts just to see where people have them after the combine, and they have them at 24, 28, and 32. I just feel like that's going to change. But we also see in the draft these days, offense takes center stage early.
It does.
So a top 15 defensive player gets picked in the mid-20s just because they've made a different runs.
I'm going to say that.
Remember, everybody had Dallas Turner top 10, top 7, and he fell to the Vikings at like 13, 15 or something like that.
17.
He was pissed. He was pissed because the Falcons could have got him. Everybody thought Dallas Turner
was
going
in
to
every mock to the Falcons. Yep.
Yes, and Michael Penix.
That's why I said he's a top 15 player. I don't know that he gets drafted just because these drafts are weird.
I would hope that Cat's suggestion is right. Jahad Campbell at 10 to New Orleans. I really hope
everything, Cat.
Yeah, they do.
Take the best available player. Do that.
Oh man!
Hey, slide 3 names into the envelope and just see if they read all 3. That's what I do if I'm the Saints at 10. just see
I like this though. That was a good question. Shouts out to my boy Brinsky, man. Sharpshooter Podcast. Y'all go subscribe to the Sharpshooter Podcast.
Definitely agree.
Pull the next one real quick. Has Ryan Grubb ever made a press conference? Never heard of?
Yeah, I'll take this one. This one. Tough as nails. He will have his first press conference on Wednesday morning.
Okay.
Wednesday morning, Ryan Grubb will speak. I got the schedule. DeBoer will speak tomorrow at 10:45. Grubbo will speak Wednesday. He'll speak Wednesday.
Why you were holding out, Stephen M? You could have said that early on in the show.
Hey, they just sent it to me.
Come on, bro.
Hey, DeBoer will speak at 10:45 tomorrow. Grubbo will speak Wednesday.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
That's what's up.
I like that. JB, hit this one for us, brother.
Shouts out Damon by my boy Davis. I always wonder why our tight ends always get about 300 yards a season. Why not more like 700? I don't know. Steve, you got an answer to this?
Okay, here we go. So we know we saw OJ do his thing 2015, 2016. Mm-hmm. Remember Irv Smith 2018 had 742 yards.
Yep.
So you also got to look at the quarterback who's throwing them the football, people. Like, you got to look at that. Like, OJ had AJ McCarron, Blake Sims, Jalen Hurts. Irv Smith had Tua throwing him the football So you look at this quarterback right here, whether it's Ty, whether it's Keelan Russell, Austin Mack, I think the tight ends will get more involved this year. But it also goes back to the quarterback throwing the football and then the scheme of it, right? Does the scheme favor that tight end to get that football?
Yep.
You look at
I agree.
I think what Grubb and DeBoer are going to do, they're going to have something that's going to favor Josh Cuevas. It's going to favor Danny Lewis. It's going to favor Marshall Pritch. It's going to favor Jay Lindsey. Those tight ends will get that action. They'll be okay.
I think so, too. I think tight ends will look good this year for us, too.
Yep. All right,
we got any more?
I'm throwing this one out because she did a super chat and it was empty, so we're going to give her her other comment instead.
Call me crazy, but watch and see Milroe turns out to do better in the NFL than Sanders and Ward. Oh, I like it. I ain't calling it crazy.
Hey, look, and pulling that Jalen Hurts confidence. Remember, Jalen Hurts got his Super Bowl before Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Tua.
All of them. Yep.
All of them.
That is right.
And Jalen has the mindset. His mindset is incredible. He has the work ethic and the mindset. Shador and Cam are so arrogant right now. I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? But we'll be able to see those quarterbacks along with Quinn Ewers and what's my boy from
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. All of them will be grouped together for years to come. So wait about 5 to 7 years before we be able to make those comparisons.
He said, how many TVs you gonna get beat down? I have not hit no TVs in my celebrations. I have been close, but I've hit none. So I am very, very happy about that. Now I have had a hat flown off with Milroe through that pick in the Michigan game that did hit the TV, but we're not gonna talk about that. Okay, we're not gonna talk about that. TV was fine, made it out, no scratches. That'll wrap up tonight, guys. Thank y'all for joining us. Before you go, I'm going to let everybody let you know where they can find them at and special shows they do. JB, let the people know where they can find you at, brother.
Y'all can find me here, man. Sunday night Talk'n Bama. Y'all know the man of the people. We appreciate all the love in the chat. Check us out Wednesday, man. Me, C. Payne, Dan the Man. We'll be on Crimson Dynasty, 6:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 Eastern. Also, go to my YouTube channel, Sports Talking with JB. Hit the subscribe button after you get off this show right here. Subscribe to Sports Talking with JB. And it's always a pleasure to be on here with this great panel.
Yes, it is.
Appreciate you always, man.
Stephen M. Smith, let the people know where they can find you at, brother.
They can find me floating on Twitter X at Coaching M. Smith. They can find me right there. You can find me on at Pale City Football on Twitter as we continue to get those guys ready for next season. We're getting them through the spring conditioning. We're getting them through the spring and nutrition. We're getting them through the spring and getting them prepared for this upcoming season. Coach Gentry got our guys to the playoffs last year at 6A. We're trying to go back-to-back here. So it's going to be exciting to see what these guys do and being a part of this program. They can also find me here floating around on Bama Standard Network. That's on Tuesdays and Sunday nights. Sunday nights Talk'n Bama with the All-Star team here at the Skater Boy JT, the man of the people JB, and the better Ragsdale Herb.
There you go, man. Hope you're still listening, Raj.
Yeah.
What about Raj in the chat? I know you're in the chat. Shouts out to you.
We love you, Raj, in the chat, but Herb is the better Ragsdale. Just saying. But they can always find me, floating around and providing this Bama football information. Yeah.
Not the Herb. I had to make sure I said Herb because, you don't want to get it wrong. Herb, where can the people find you and your brother's show? I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to let you say it.
The other Ragsdale and I have our shows Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. You can catch us live. Then I'm also with these guys on here with JT and Daniel Petty, Thursday night, 7:30. If we beat Florida, we'll still be on there. If we lose to Florida, we'll still be on there, but it's going to be a bad show. So you go see some attitudes.
Man. Yeah.
You catch us there. And then go to our channel, the Urban Raj podcast on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Everything we got going on there. Check us out there. Twitter as well, Raj_Herb.
Yes, sir. Check us out, guys.
Oh, and then of course every night here with three of the greatest guys that I know, man. I appreciate y'all every Sunday.
Sunday night Talk'n Bama. We started at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, whatever time that relevates to you. Do the math, baby. Show's great. I just want to stop for a minute. Me and JB's coming up on a year being on this channel with this show right here.
Yes.
This show started out real quick before we just a quick rundown real quick. This show started out with me coming on JB's podcast, and I was going to be a regular, not host, but like a segment of his show called Talk'n Bama.
Yeah.
And we were going to talk Bama ball. Well, we eventually had it on TikTok for a while. Justin saw it, brought us on here. A-Day of last year, the week after A-Day, we had our first show, and it was me and JB. We had Funny Main on the next week. We had a bunch of guys on since then. We're going to get back to having some guests soon. But we had a ball here last year, me and JB, and we've grown this show, man, to what it is. It is amazing. We couldn't do it without all you guys watching, though, and commenting every week and liking the videos and super chats, and those are not asked for or anything like that. It's totally a blessing. So it's nothing asked for at all, but it's a blessing. Thank you. And, comment and liking these videos, guys, what keeps us rolling? Subscribing. That keeps the channel rolling. That keeps us here. That keeps providing stuff. That keeps a way for y'all to talk with other fans, too. Not just us. And disagree with us, too. Or agree with us. Whatever. Hang around. We appreciate it so much, guys, and I thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Speaking of guests, Tuesday night, Bama stand-up, Marquise Mays on the show, and happy birthday to Marquise Mays. His birthday was today, so shouts out to him. He will be on the Bama stand-up. I know he will have a lot of good things to talk about. He's amazing on social media, so don't miss the show this Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern.
JTTV got you about 100 pounds. No, bro. Actually, I look a lot lighter than I am. People be surprised I tell them how much I weigh, bro. I ain't saying I'm like that, bro. I'm, solid 165, 170 soaking wet. Now, don't play with me now. Depends on if I had a haircut or not.
Wet.
Hey, if I ain't had a haircut, now I'm 171. All right. So, but anyways, thank you guys.
Oh, the hair added 1 pound?
1 pound for the hair.
You never know. All right.
He's not shaving until Alabama loses either, though. So both of y'all gonna look.
Chick-fil-A, the Lord's Chicken will not allow that. I will be in the dungeon. That will not happen at the Lord's Chicken. They will make me shave. So, guys, thank y'all for joining, man. I'm here on Sunday Night Talk'n Bama. Also, like Herb said, host the show. Going hard to paint on Thursday nights. We got a couple episodes left. Hopefully we ride this out to a championship, guys. But if not, we'll pause the show after the season. We'll have one season finale, and then we will kick that show back off in October when the season kicks back off again, September, October-ish. But thank you guys so much. That's it, guys. We're going to end it off with a big old Roll Tide, and we ain't got much longer, guys. And Bama going to hit that field.
Yes, sir.
And it's gonna be good. And we don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide, baby. Nothing but the Tide.
See y'all next week.
Baby.